Bitcoin consolidating to 7,000 US dollars? What is this madness? I keep having individuals come to me like, Naeem, what do you think about this rumor of Bitcoin going all the way back down to $7,000? And I'm like, where are you getting this information? Where's the fundamental or technical reasoning behind this? Looking at Bitcoin's chart, this is the pattern that we've been following for the past couple of months here on SniperTube. You can see we have this descending resistance level forming this flat pattern that we've finally broken out of. This was the biggest significant price movement that we've seen in Bitcoin in quite a while, being the fact that we've now broken out of this flag. If you guys don't know what a flag pattern is, our Discord has a Trading 101 section. The link is in the description below. You can see exactly how this flag pattern is being formed here, and that's pretty much what we saw with Bitcoin, and it's exactly what happened. We are now seeing that breakout level. In my opinion, it is the perfect time to buy into Bitcoin at this point. By the way, my name is Naeem Al-Obeidi. Welcome to SnipersTube. If you guys are on our Trade Signals subscription service, I do want you all to know that you should be taking profits of one of our latest trade alerts that we posted 2 days ago for XMR. I think it hit about 11% profits. If you guys aren't getting our trade alerts, you're more than welcome to. The link is in the description below, patreon.com/snipers. But if you look at how we posted this 2 days ago, buy levels were right around this area, and then you can see once we posted that trade alert, now it hit that take profit zone. Make sure to take those profits if you guys are locked into that. Let's look at Bitcoin. Let's pull up this chart, insert some more indicators. This is our trading view chart. The link in the description. So far, we've talked about our Discord, our Patreon, our trading view. If you're new to trading, we're going to be using some simple indicators here to predict where Bitcoin's price movement is going to be headed over the next couple of days, so we can take this moment aside to see where, in a technical sense, Bitcoin has the potential to go, rather than listening to rumors. I'm telling you, if you're listening to rumors, you have to back it with some sort of fundamental or technical analysis. In a fundamental sense, Bitcoin has not had as much positive market sentiment, in my opinion, that we've seen up until this point. We are at an all-time high. We saw one of the largest spikes in Bitcoin volume in history. You can actually see, if we right-click our chart, you can insert indicator, click technical analysis, type in volume. This can be the first indicator that you use if this is the first time you are charting. And volume is an indicator of demand and supply. And you can see here, if we go to the one-day chart, you can see how strong of a demand we saw here with Bitcoin, with this huge buy volume, and it was the largest in history. That, in my opinion, shows that we have more individuals engaged in the market. And in my opinion, we have people that have cash and fiat on the side at this point, waiting to put more money into Bitcoin to ensure that they can go ahead and profit and have an entry point that is profitable over time. So looking at this chart, we have broken this 3-month log flag pattern that has formed. It actually went exactly how we have it drawn out on our Discord resource. It went resistance, support, resistance, halfway breakout, same exact thing. Resistance, support, halfway breakout. That actually has to do with more of the Elliott wave analysis, which we're not going to get into. That's not my strength. Every trader has different strengths, by the way. Some traders are good at Elliott waves. Some traders are good at Fibonacci. Some traders are good with Bollinger Bands. Some traders like to just use volume, right? My strength is it's really using the fundamentals of trading. It's like a boxer. When a boxer's not doing well and he goes to his trainer, he's like, hey, why aren't I doing so well? Trainer's like, well, maybe you should go back to the fundamentals, right? The jab, the uppercut. So it's the same thing in trading. Always go back to the fundamentals, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and draw a Fibonacci retracement here so we can predict potential support and resistance levels over the next couple of days into the next couple of weeks. If you guys don't know what a Fibonacci retracement is, it's another very important indicator. It's all based on arithmetic and mathematics developed by Mr. Fibonacci himself. If you go to this third little area here, you right click, there's going to be something called the Fibonacci retracement. This is going to be the manual version. There's also an auto fib that you can use, which is an automatic Fibonacci, but we're not going to utilize that. You want to go from the top of the body of the candle of the time frame that you're watching all the way to the bottom of the body. If you use the wicks, make sure you use the top and bottom wicks. Don't mix that up, wicks body or body wicks. Make sure it's body or wicks. Looking at this, you can see we're also going to want to confirm that the Fibonacci retracement is acting in accordance to the price levels, which, as you can see, it is acting in accordance. Why? Because look at this. You can see here how we went to that Fibonacci retracement, found some support here, went past this, broke through the Fibonacci retracement, and found resistance right on the top of the Fibonacci retracement here in the blue, where you can see that red candle wicks went all the way back down, up there, found that resistance, which shows to me that Bitcoin is acting in accordance of technical rules, which is good. So looking at the current price levels, kind of zoom in here so we can have a better idea of what's happening. We'll go into a little bit more of a closer chart in just a second, because I think this is important for all of you to understand where Bitcoin's headed. It's going to influence the overall market. I think altcoins as well are definitely going to follow Bitcoin, because I think more market confidence in Bitcoin will also create more market confidence with the altcoins, because people are not blind to the fact that altcoins have large potential upside. Man, I'm talking fast. I should be a rapper. So looking at this chart here, let's go ahead and see what's happening. We're entering this level here, about to see some resistance here at this top Fibonacci retracement. In my opinion, that's no big deal. We may even break right through it like we saw here. Now, the issue with what we're seeing right now is the fact that we are in a very undetermined zone. The reason I say that is anytime you see a big pattern break, you want to have even longer confirmation times to ensure yourself that this trend pattern is now confirmed. So being the fact that we've just recently broke this flag pattern, we do want to give Bitcoin a couple of days, in my opinion, to get that full confirmation that we are going to be seeing those higher price levels. There's also another trend forming here. If we pull up this 3-hour chart here to get a little bit closer, you can see we do have a very clear ascending support line forming here as well, which Bitcoin has been following on the T. This is something that we predicted on our live stream. If you guys watch us live, then you guys know exactly what's popping here on Sniper. So I highly recommend following our Twitter. The link is in the description below on that. We post constant updates and community consensus. So looking at this chart here, you can see we're following this ascending support line. It's following it to the T. We found support, backed up. If you guys don't know what support is, that's the ground of a support line, or a resistance level is the top. That's kind of like the I would call it the peak, where you find that price levels cannot pass, and then if it does pass that, that's an indicator of a potential breakout. So we're not going to get into all the little nits and bits. We'll actually have a glossary on our new website where you guys can actually look at all of these different definitions, so you guys can have a better understanding of things. And if you go on our Trading 101, you can actually learn a lot just looking at all of these patterns. So looking at the current price levels, though, with this ascending support line, especially after this flag has now been broken, what we're really watching for is for this to continue its impulse. Now, what is an impulse? An impulse is a 5-point wave. It's an Elliott cycle. Now, what we're going to see most likely is heading towards this Fibonacci retracement. In my opinion, we might see some sort of consolidation, maybe even a little bit of an ABC correction. Hopefully that plays out the way we want it to, the same way this played out. And what I mean by that is hopefully you can find some resistance, a little bit of an ABC correction, but then fall right back onto that ascending support line. It's acting kind of like if you were at the beach and you had a little like lay down chair. It's kind of just chilling on that support level, and that's kind of what we want to see, especially now that we've broken this overall flag pattern trend. So as long as it can find some rest on that ascending support level, I think things are going to be fine for Bitcoin. In a fundamental sense, there really isn't a reason for Bitcoin to go down to any lower lows. There really isn't. I mean, even, I'll tell you what, my friend that I know doesn't have any interest in cryptocurrency recently texted me when Bitcoin is at these lows saying, dude, this thing is cheap. I should buy some. He bought some, and now he called me yesterday saying, dude, I made some profit. I want to buy more. This is awesome. And I'm telling you, the whole market's in that mindset. We're not necessarily seeing what we're seeing in the stock market right now, or the global markets in general, where a lot of stock and global markets are consolidating quite a bit now. Now, in the crypto market, in my opinion, we're seeing a lot of upside, being the fact that we had this huge consolidation. People understand this asset was worth over $19,000 at one point recently, and now it's at really low levels. It is a good time to buy, in my opinion. Now, that doesn't mean that we're not going to see further downside. There's always that potential, right? Technical analysis can only work to a certain degree. However, as long as you have your risk management set in place, then you can ensure to yourself that you're at least going to minimize your losses and maximize your profits, which is kind of obvious, right? What are the most important things in trading? What are the most basic rules? In my opinion, buying the red, selling the green. Very basic rule that my mentor taught me very early on. Sorry about that. So looking at this chart here, we are seeing these upward price levels. How are altcoins going to follow? Well, why don't we pull up an altcoin to take a look? So let's do an ETH USD chart, being the fact that I think USD to ETH is a fairly reasonable pairing. I don't like to always look at USD charts for altcoins. However, USD charts are typically going to be correspondent with coins that have those pairings in place. So sometimes you have coins like Substratum where there's no USD, true USD pairing, where you need to buy Bitcoin or Ethereum or another altcoin to actually go ahead and utilize a purchase of that coin. So that's why we look at Satoshi values, because you're typically trading altcoins with Satoshis, which are the fractionalized version of a Bitcoin, right? So looking at this Ethereum chart here in the US dollar valuation, you can see it's also showing some strength. And what do I mean by that? Well, even though it's going a little bit horizontal, it's all about finding a squeeze, right? And you can see we're starting to see a little bit of squeeze here, and it is ascending. If you guys draw these levels out, you can see there is a slight ascent right now within these price levels here. And if we pull up the Fibonacci retracement here for Ethereum, actually going all the way back to pretty much where Bitcoin saw its consolidation, well, obviously Ethereum was affected to a certain regard, but Ethereum did have its moments of, upside during that whole Bitcoin correction. So looking at the Fibonacci retracement, oh, I just pulled up a price range. Sorry about that. Let's go ahead and pull up the Fibonacci retracement here. I think I'm talking a little too fast then. So go to the top of the candle once again, looking all the way down to the Fibonacci retracement. I think it's going to be important to watch this chart as well, because you want to know how altcoins are going to act. So what is better than looking at an altcoin like Ethereum? So Ethereum, as you can see, ascending support in the Fibonacci retracement. We want to validate that it is acting in accordance. You can see it is. We found support, resistance, support. So it is showing that it is acting in accordance with the Fibonacci retracement mathematics, which shows to me as well that now that we're heading towards this top Fibonacci level, it's just like Bitcoin. It's starting to see strength, but it's also starting to reach these levels where we're going to see known resistance. So don't be scared if you see a little bit of price drops. Understand that as long as we're not going below significant support levels, that we're most likely going to be fine. And I think for Ethereum, unlike Bitcoin, there are different parameters here in play. I think the most significant support level here for Ethereum, which you want to watch, is going to be right around this level here of $784 US. Why? Because it is also in correspondence with this ascending support line. You can see how closely correlated those are. And I think, in my opinion, the fact that we saw this huge sell-off and then found extreme support down here where we saw this huge run-up afterwards, after a sell-off, which is expected, that this is also a great support level for Ethereum. I think these levels are a little bit too low in order to determine whether or not you want to set up your stop losses properly. And then the other aspect to this is also the Fibonacci retracement support. You can see the Fibonacci retracement ends here. So that's what I would say, in my opinion, here for Ethereum. Other than that, thank you all for watching this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Get on our Patreon. Get your trade alerts. Have those trades pretty much automated. We have ICO alerts now as well. I'll see some of you on Discord and on our live stream. Thank you so much for watching this video. And like always, snipers out.